Hello and welcome to another Royal Reviewer live pop-up chat. Right, we need to talk because we have, I think, quite a few things to get through. There has been a lot of attention in the press today over Peter Phillips, who is Princess Anne's son. Obviously, he is still very much a member of the royal family. He is still the Queen's grandson. He is brother, of course, to Zara. He has been criticised heavily for advertising, for taking money from, basically advertising milk, which we'll take a look at in a moment. The second story we're going to be talking about today, the two stories, almost kind of relate in a weird kind of way. But I've also seen criticism, lots of people in the press saying that Meghan staged the paparazzi photographs of her walking with the dogs and Archie in the forward papoose, I think they're called. So those are the two stories that we're going to be talking about, but also there's a few other things on my list which I want to get in as well. But first of all, let's start with a positive. Can we start with a positive, please, people? So I'm going to give a golden fan flap to Sophie. It's broken. I know, look. Isn't that terrible? Yeah, it's broke. I want to say, because in all the furore of what's been going on over the last few days, I forgot to say happy birthday to Sophie, the Countess of Wessex. So happy birthday. It was her birthday yesterday. She was, of course, working on her birthday as well. She attended the UK Africa Summit that William was hosting. Of course, that was his first solo hosting of anything at Buckingham Palace on his own. So Sophie was a busy lady yesterday. So first of all, I want to start with a really big positive. Happy birthday, Your Royal Highness, the Countess of Wessex, Sophie. I think everybody wished her a big happy birthday, but of course her birthday news was very much overshadowed by everything that's been going on with Harry and Meghan. So, let me find the chat room, because of course I want to see what people are talking about. I will, of course, read as many questions and comments as I can live, and of course any links that I share in the live chat. If you're watching on catch up, if you're watching not live, I will post in the description box. So, hello to everybody. I can see you all. I can see you all. Right, so I think what we need to start with first of all is Peter Phillips advertising milk. So I am going to share a link, and in this link it also includes a video of the actual commercial. So it was a commercial. So let me just copy that and paste it in. Again, like I say, I will share this in the description box as well. So let's pop that in. So at least we can all be on the same page, so to speak, no pun intended, about what we're talking about. So let me start at the top of this article because I kind of want to almost dissect it, and I don't want to kind of leave anything out particularly. So obviously this has come to the forefront because of Harry and Meghan choosing to step back from royal duties. So as we know, Harry and Meghan have not been allowed to use the HRH title and style to promote or advertise anything whilst they are being financially independent. It's important to note that Peter and Zara do not have any HRH, they do not have any title, and they have not had any from birth. So technically, they are private individuals, always have been, and always have earned their own money. However, they are still members of the British royal family. They are still in the line of succession to the throne. And, crucially, they can still bring embarrassment. They can still bring conflict of interest upon the senior royals and, most importantly, the Queen. So I think that is very, very important to note. I also want to say, whilst we're on the subject, I have a donation. 99 is it what is the denomination of a euro? I don't know. But anyway, thank you so much for your kind donation. Mwah. So yeah, I think it's important to note as well that the palace made a mistake. The palace did make a mistake when announcing how Harry and Meghan would be addressed post the transition period. So, in one of their press release statements, it said that Harry and Meghan were going to be addressed as Harry, Duke of Sussex, Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, and that they wouldn't be using their HRH titles. It then came out that technically they still would be HRH, but wouldn't be using them, and they would still technically be the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, but wouldn't be styling themselves as such. So, I commented at the time that obviously the palace had decided to style them in the same way that Diana and Sarah Ferguson were post-divorce, almost as a divorced royal, which is what that press statement from the palace actually showed. Anyway, to cut a long story short, it's transpired that the palace made a mistake. They are actually backtracking now, so lots of reporters and journalists have now been saying that they have been communicated from the palace that there was a mistake made and that necessarily shouldn't be there. And it all hinges because that denotes, traditionally, in the royal family, that you are a divorced member of the family, obviously usually a wife, as has been the case in more recent years with Diana, Princess of Wales, and Sarah, Duchess of York. They are now saying that is wrong, that they still potentially could be addressed as the Duke and Duchess of Sussex minus the HRH. Confused, maybe. Yeah, but nothing has actually been announced yet on that. So expect some kind of update, some kind of press release on time in the near future. And of course, as soon as I hear anything, I will bring that to you. So as of now, I suppose the old statement still kind of stands, but expect an update very, 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 very soon on that. Anyway, back to Peter. I thought I would just kind of make that point. So back to Peter Phillips. So the headline of the article I shared says Royal Peter for hire in China. So it is important to note that this is an advert for Chinese TV. He has been accused of using his royal connections to sell milk on Chinese TV. And that kind of is coming into question between being financially independent, being a member of the royal family, commercialising yourself, and in what capacity. Majesty. We do not know. There is no definitive definition of what those standards are. All I can think of is that it would be something that wouldn't cause embarrassment, something that wouldn't be a conflict of interest. And of course, those terms are of course very ambiguous. However, we do know that Zara and Peter have for years made their own money from deals, from sponsorships, from brand deals. Peter himself sold his wedding rights, the photographs to, I think it was Hello magazine, when he married Autumn. So yes, there is a fine line. Am I back? I think I'm back. I will carry on if I'm back. There may have been a problem with the internet, but I do believe that I am back. So I will carry on, and I'm hoping that you can all see me. So he's seen in a series of photographs holding a glass of Jersey milk. Now, in the advert, this is where the question of a conflict of interest or trading on the royal family name comes into question. So, obviously, the writing is in Chinese. This advert was never intended for English-speaking people. It's in Chinese. I can't read the writing, but it has been translated by the newspaper as saying that he has been described as a British royal family member. Now, this is where I have to get my my black fan. Shall we have a lacy black fan? Let's have a lacy black fan. So, there we go. Okay, this is where the conflict of interest comes in. Had the advert probably not had him described as a British royal family member, it likely would have been okay. However, if you watch the advert, it does play heavily on royal connections in terms of there is a butler, there is a stately home, which incidentally is not a royal family home, is not a palace. It's actually Longleat House, and Longleat have actually come out and said that they did not give permission for that image to be used on the green screen projection. But anyway, so really the advert is playing on his royal connections, even without the British royal family member description. It is still playing heavily on I suppose being posh, aristocratic, royal. There is a replica of the Gold State coach. It very, very much screams royal, and it very, very much, rather embarrassingly, I think, for Peter, and of course, at this time, when of course we are discussing so much with Harry and Meghan and what they're doing regarding their commercialisation, it doesn't look good. It isn't good optics for Peter, for the royal family, and I am very, very interested to know how this is going to come off. What are the senior members of the royal family? What is Peter's grandmother, the Queen, going to say about this, in particular at this time? So I'm going to kind of scroll down. There is, of course, the advert. So in the art, and if you're just joined, I will share again the link, because I know some of you got here after. So I've just posted the link again. You will be able to see a series of screenshots of the advert, and also you can watch the video of the ad. You can actually watch the advert in full as well. So there we go. If I just scroll down some of the pictures. Now, obviously, Peter was brought up in Princess Anne's, or living at Princess Anne's Gloucestershire estate. And actually, I do believe if I go to Twitter, and I should probably have pre-opened this already, but let me just see if I can find the tweet that I was talking about. Hang on, just a second. Here we go. I think it was the royal chef Darren McGrady. Here we go. Yes, I've got it. So let me just see if I can share this tweet. Let me just get the link. So again, I will share this link in the description if you're watching on Catch Up. But here is the tweet from Darren McGrady, the royal chef. Now, he was Princess Diana's chef, and he has worked extensively for the royal family. So let me just go and read the tweet. So he tweeted, "This tickles me. Peter Phillips saying he was brought up on Windsor Jersey milk. Yeah, right. He must be referring to the couple of days at Christmas and a weekend at Easter. The royal dairy did not deliver to Gatcombe, nor Shaftesbury and Gordonstone." Obviously, the homes and places of Peter Phillips. So there is a man in the know. I thought I would just share that tweet because I did kind of find that to be a little bit amusing. Now, let me go back to the main article. So obviously, I still believe that there will be some kind of unwritten code of conduct regarding upholding the values of Her Majesty the Queen, which of course Harry and Meghan have agreed to uphold. We do not know what they are. This evidently was filmed months and months in advance. It is incredibly bad timing. If everything that what's happened with Harry and Meghan hadn't happened, it is very, very doubtful that this advert would ever have come to our attentions, because it is just, of course, intended for Chinese TV. And it kind of makes you think how many other things have been commercialised by the likes of Zara and Peter that have never been seen by a British or an English-speaking audience. Maybe that's upholding the values of Her Majesty the Queen. Maybe that's what it means. Maybe it means you can do things that are kind of far away but not actually seen in your native land or an English-speaking territory. I don't know. We do not know what that kind of unofficial code of conduct is. So it is very, very, very interesting. And also could pave the way for Harry and Meghan to do something similar. Maybe they could be, a brand ambassador for something like a food company or a drinks company. If Peter and Zara can do it, and Peter obviously in this, maybe Harry and Meghan can. The only difference I can possibly think of is that obviously Zara and Peter have never ever held royal title. They've never been HRH. And currently, as we know, Harry and Meghan do technically still have the HRH, even though they're not using it, and technically they still are the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. So there is a slight difference, and of course, Harry is higher up in the line of succession, so he's closer to the throne than, of course, his cousins, Zara and Peter. Yes, I was right. Peter and Autumn did sell their 2008 wedding to Hello magazine, and last year Peter had financial meetings with a Chinese entrepreneur, Dr. Johnny Han, over a possible launch of a horse racing private members club in Hong Kong. And there we go. So in this endeavour, he is of course promoting Jersey fresh milk, and I did write down the company as well. It was a state-owned dairy firm called Bright Dairies, apparently. So I'm going to go now and see what people are saying in the comment section. Let's have a little look. Oh, I think people are very much talking about the paparazzi photos of Harry and Meghan. So, without further ado, let's go on to that story. So, I'm going to move over to the Harry, the Meghan story. Well, it's kind of touching on Harry as well, because obviously, as we know, as I said in my last video, Harry was imminently going to fly back to be with Meghan and Archie in Canada. It turns out I was absolutely right. Probably whilst I was making that video, Harry was probably already in the air returning to Canada. So let me share this link. Again, you can choose to click on it or not, just so you can follow. It does include all the different photographs that I want to talk about, and also what people are talking about. So yeah, this video and obviously captions, screen grabs of this video have made their way onto news desks all over the world. It shows Meghan carrying Archie in a front papoose, if you like, on her front. She's walking her two dogs, and there are two Royal Protection Officers following in the background. Now, as we know, throughout her marriage, while she's been in the UK, there has been privacy agreements with the press and news desks regarding paparazzi photographs of their private time. Obviously, the gloves are off. Now that Harry and Meghan have moved to Canada, now that they are being financially independent, the press, obviously, for whatever reasons, that press agreement is off. They are now showing private pictures, paparazzi taken photographs of Meghan, Harry and Archie. I mean, this clearly shows the gloves are off. There is no privacy now. They do not have that royal protection when it comes to privacy. However, we also have the accusations coming in from many people, the press, public people on Twitter, in comment sections, accusing Meghan that it all looks a little bit staged or set up. Now, personally, I don't know. It's very, very difficult to say in terms of we've not had that before because of the protection that being a senior member of the royal family has brought to Harry, Meghan and Archie. Meghan could have made that walk many times over the last couple of months. But the press obviously would not have been able to have to have published those photographs. If you scroll down, let me just see who they're by. They're by Splash News / Backgrid. So they are paparazzi photographs. You know, like I say, she could have made this walk many times. There could have been already existing video clips of this same thing many times, or indeed other separate occasions. But it is significant that now they are being published. So, with regards to Harry and Meghan's wish to be more peaceful, to have a more private existence, we have Exhibit A. It doesn't look peaceful, it doesn't look private. Although I will say Meghan does look happy. She is smiling, she is wearing her beanie hat, her hair's to the side. She's obviously, you know, got Archie out and about, she's walking her dogs. So she looks happy. I mean, it's we don't know fully whether or not she knows that these pictures are being taken. They could have been taken with a long lens, they could have been taken with long range video. But that is some of the criticism coming in. I've also seen criticism saying that maybe she's after dog sponsorship because she's got the dogs. Maybe she wants to commercialise Archie with different baby products. I mean, all the different stories and accusations are coming in. But it's important to note that the protection that being a senior member of the royal family had for Archie is now gone. And that is slightly sad, slightly worrying. And I think it's very important that Harry and Meghan do have access to the royal protection, because you know, it just leaves things really open, regardless of who pays for it. Whether or not it ends up that Harry and Meghan end up having to fund their own royal protection, I still think that royal protection should be at their disposal, because it does leave them open. It does leave them very open to things like that. Also, in the article, if you scroll down, there are some photographs of Harry stepping off the plane when he arrives in Canada. He's wearing, again, a beanie hat, just like Meghan. His puffer jacket, jeans, brown shoes, again smiling, carrying a bag over his shoulder. And yeah, you can watch the video that was taken of that of Meghan walking. And then obviously there's more photographs of Harry stepping off the plane. I'm not going to go too much into what the article says, but I am going to, you know, I have spoken about what the wider picture is, what people have been saying, and I think it's important to note whether or not we agree with the criticism. It's important to know what is being said, what is being out there, what the optics are on everything. And I want to go now to the chat room to see what people are saying. Let's scroll up a little bit. Karen Moss says, it is said that some of the British media have moved there to catch Harry and Meghan. It's entirely possible. It is entirely possible that has happened. Skeptical Maiden says, if they are in her face, is she supposed to not smile? Then she's happy, for goodness sake, people. Bug. Again, she just looks happy. I mean, you can't really say anything more about it. She just looks happy. Betsy says, everyone would be happier if they spent time in nature with their family. And Lauren Walker says, I would say if the issue was getting away from the media, this sadly proves this won't work. That's what I said, Exhibit A. Miranda says, Meghan is out of England with what the majority of viewers on here wanted. Why are you still talking about it if you hate her so much? Out of sight, out of mind. Everyone has their own opinion on this. I think, like in Harry's speech, he made it perfectly clear that that it was his decision, or at least a joint decision. But he did say in his speech that it was his decision, my family, my decision, what I'd been thinking about for many years. So, or for a long time, I think he said. So, so yes, everyone will have their own ideas, views, opinions on this. I'm just trying to say, in my videos, what's happening, what the talk is. and hopefully try and, you know, wade through this immense amount of news, speculation, stories that's going on. I have another donation from Morning Mayan, who's donated $2. Thank you so much. Mwah. And of course I'll give you a golden fan flap for your donation. Thank you so much. Let's see what else other people are saying. Mrs. Hard to Please says, why would Meghan stoop to the level of her relatives to stage photo sessions? Again, I would agree. It wouldn't be very good optics if that was the case, because of all the you know, the press furore that happened when Thomas Markle basically staged his photos prior to Harry and Meghan's wedding. So I kind of agree with you on that one. Let me just see if there was anything else that I've kind of missed on my list. Oh yes, Camillas Comments. Yeah, so Camilla was asked about Harry and Meghan, and Camilla was videoed, that there was a video out where she took a bit of a long pause and then said, course, meaning of course. And people have been reading, I think, a lot into that. Some people have been saying that she paused because she was thinking about what to say carefully, because she didn't want it taken out of context, or she didn't want to say the wrong thing. Some people have been saying that it was a natural, you know, real reaction as to her thoughts. In other words, saying that she wouldn't miss Meghan and Harry. So again, read into it what you will. It depends on which side of, you know, this really silly divide, this really silly line that people are sometimes making themselves fall on. You know, there seems to be a lot of talk about either being in, you know, Harry and Meghan's camp or the royal family's camp. I think what's happened over the last, you know, week or so has proven that the royal family has actually tried to come together on this. And they have tried very, very hard to heal any fractions that were there. So I don't think it's useful. I don't think it's helpful to try and pit, you know, different factions of royals against one another. Hopefully now they'll be able to work forward to a better, more positive existence for the senior royals, for the minor royals, and of course for Harry and Meghan as well. So yes, read into Camilla's comment what you will, but sort of knowing Camilla's kind of sense of humour and not wanting to put a foot wrong, I would probably say that I think she was just being cautious about what to say. Do we have a troll in again? Let's remove the said troll. There we go. Betsy Herman says, the royal family is fantastic. Hopefully they will walk in the woods together soon and smile the whole time. Oh, I think Troll is back. How did Troll get in so quickly? Right, okay, I have hidden the troll from this channel, so hopefully that will sort out the troll. There we go. Jules C says, haters will stop at nothing to say something negative. That is always true. That is always the case when it comes to haters. But, you know, I guess we all just have to have our own opinions and thoughts, but also keep an open mind about things. Nana says, stop encouraging these people. Meghan won't stage this for anything. She has security guys with her. You think she will lower herself in front of them like that? I don't think so. I haven't said that she did. Don't come for me, people. I didn't say that. I'm saying that is what she has been accused of. That's the truth. Not the truth that she staged it, but it's the truth that she has been accused of doing that. And I think it's important to speak about everything that's being said, both sides of everything, looking at the whole picture. That's what this channel does. I look at the whole picture. I don't blow wind up people's backsides. You know, I look at everything as a whole. And, you know, I'm not one side or the other. I'm not team this, I'm not team that. You know, I'm just looking at what the truth is. And sometimes we don't have the truth, and sometimes we have to talk about things to make sense of things, and hopefully talking about things helps people make sense of a little bit more, and listening to other people's ideas and opinions too. And yeah, I think, just agreeing with PJR, who says there are a lot of short fuses on this chat and they are jumping on everyone, including me. I said this maybe 3 or 4 live chats ago. People were getting grumpy. People were getting very, very grumpy with not having any definitive information. And I sense that people are starting to get a little bit grumpy again in terms of the transition period, because there is going to be a lot of noise out there whilst we are in this transition period. Hopefully we will get more concrete information coming out. I would expect the next thing to come out would be clarification on their titles. Yes, those pictures were taken in Canada. I've just read a comment. Right, I am going to go now. I think I have spoken and covered pretty much everything off my list. And unless we have any really pressing breaking news, that will be it for tonight. So, if you have enjoyed this video, if it's helped you talk about things, look at particular issues, then please give it a big old thumbs up. Don't forget to share on social media, and also do hit that bell so that you know whenever I do a pop-up live chat or come live or post a video. So from me, oh, and make sure you are subscribed to the channel too. So from me in Shropshire, mwah, to you all, and goodbye.